What's up guys, it's Andrew here bringing you a 3 laps 3 topics opinion commentary here on F1 2013. So yeah, if you watch my channel update video you'll know that I'm now officially back, and we're going to get back to talking about F1, talking about the world of motorsport and what's generally going on at the moment. So I know I'm a few days late, I apologise for that, but I thought I'd talk about the Monaco Grand Prix, which we had last weekend. And so on lap 1 we're going to kick off with Nico Rosberg. Obviously the most controversial part of the weekend was actually on the Saturday. So the general question, do I think Nico Rosberg did what he did of going off at Miro corner? Did he do it on purpose? I'll be honest, as big a part of me that wants to think, yeah, he did it deliberately, I don't think he did it deliberately. My opinion, I think Eddie Jordan's was a similar opinion. Someone said it and it seemed kind of sensible to me. If he was going to do that deliberately, I think you'd want to make sure if it was preempted before qualifying or before that last flying run that, yeah, I'm going to bring out a yellow flag, you do it somewhere else on the track. But as far as I was aware, what I saw, I watched the BBC highlights because I don't have Sky. Rosberg's fully pulled off the road. He's waited for everybody to come past before reversing back out, and then gets back to the pits. Yeah, you could say he could have done something similar to what Schumacher did in 2006. So for me, I don't think he did it deliberately, but I do think he bottled it. I think once again Rosberg showed the pressure that he's under to at least match Hamilton, which I still think he can't do. If you watch my driver previews at the start of the season, I said before Melbourne that Rosberg will do well this year, but he will not match Hamilton every single weekend throughout the whole season, and that's why I don't think Rosberg will win the title. There were also comments saying like, oh, Rosberg then dominated the race. He didn't dominate the race. He did what he needed to do, and fair play to him. He got the lead out of turn 1 and he stayed there, but he didn't romp away like Michael used to do. He didn't romp away like Senna used to do. And yeah, he's a 2-time winner of the Monaco Grand Prix now, but in terms of race winning drives, they're probably the 2 easiest race winning drives anyone's had back to back. So yeah, they're my thoughts on Nico Rosberg. I'm still not convinced that he's a worthy championship contender, but that kind of puts me onto Lewis Hamilton for lap 2. Yeah, Lewis had another one of those where he just needed to keep quiet, and for me this is another problem with his management team, who at the end of the day haven't got years and years of experience of dealing with motor racing drivers. Yes, they've got experience of sports stars with Beckham and all that, but I think motorsport is a very different game. And what Lewis needed on Saturday evening and Saturday afternoon was someone to get their arm round Lewis and say, okay, Rosberg's been lucky today, really lucky, but he's still bottled it, and if you stick behind him and pressure him for the full race, who's to say he might not do it again? But instead we had this whole world against me malarkey again, which I'm sure Lewis will come out of. He's done it before, he's got his head down before and carried on with the rest of the season. So thinking back to 2008 when he went into the back of Raikkonen in Canada, if he just gets his head down, has a nice quiet weekend in Montreal, he can get back on track. Because at the end of the day, for a straight, fair race around any normal racetrack this year in Formula 1, Hamilton has not been beaten. And that's what he needs to keep at the forefront of his mind. One last point on Hamilton as well, I think his team also need to remember that the media, and particularly this weekend, like taking what he says out of context. and it seems to affect him more than any driver. So shut it out, head down, get on with the rest of the season. Third lap, I wanted to just talk generally about the race and the spectacle of watching it. Now, I know as a younger guy, I may look at the races back from like 97 through to about 2003 with rose tinted glasses, but I just thought it was so great to have an action packed Monaco again this weekend, and having drivers make mistakes that put guys out of the race. Personally, I feel Monaco's been really tamed over the last few years. Turn 1 you can cut, swimming pool's a lot easier than it was 10-15 years ago. Le Rascasse is pretty much just a straight braking zone as opposed to turning and braking at the same time. I think that's been a really big factor in having boring dry Monaco races since about 2006. Turbo cars definitely had a factor, the tricky nature that they have to drive. It was just great to see that element of you just didn't know what was around the corner. And big thumbs up to Russia for taking that chance of getting those points. I always remember that's what teams like Arrows used to do back in the 90s. So yeah, that was really, really good to see, and big thumbs up from me. So that's the end of the first commentary back from a break. If you enjoyed it, then give it a like, and if you want to see more, then subscribe. Thanks for joining me. I've been Andrew the Blade. I'll see you later.